The documentary is called Everyone Prays at Holy Etchmiadzin. And I know the word Etchmiadzin is not a word that most people are familiar with, but this is really a program that looks at the Armenian Orthodox Apostolic Church, which has a fair number of people who reside in the United States. And the center is at this place in Armenia, Etchmiadzin, which is very, very beautiful. And the documentary itself explores both the history of the faith, some of the liturgy of the faith, and certainly looks at the head, the leader, the Catholicos of the faith, and how he's come to the United States and all the good work he's done. It really is an interesting faith to study. I, for one, did not know very much about it. In fact, I sometimes say I knew less than zero because I had some incorrect perceptions. And I spent a great deal of time studying and doing research and reading a lot of texts and really immersing myself in it, and I found it to be absolutely fascinating. And I was very fortunate to get people in the program that I was able to interview who were really the leading scholars and leaders, and could really bring enormous amount of insight to the program. We have won 3 Emmys, every documentary I work on, I never think about whether it could. I don't think about it at all, because we've gone, in the very beginning when we were producing, and I say we, it's because my husband and I are partners, and I do the writing and the producing, and he does the editing and a lot of the directing. But when we began, we were nominated and we didn't win. And then we weren't even nominated for a while. And then we started to be nominated and we won. But each time we won, we thought it was amazing and incredibly special, and we were very excited. And we certainly would be very thrilled to win if we were so fortunate. It's interesting. And I want to make sure I give Bishop Peggy Johnson her due, because she was somebody we interviewed for the program we did on disabilities, and she was so articulate and so passionate. And she said how here was this major issue, but it really was being given short shrift. People say, yeah, we should do something, but where is the money? And the money was not being given. It's not a priority. The area, it's just not. And Rabbi Robert Levine said, we have to remember we're all temporarily abled. At some point, we're all going to be disabled. We're going to either not hear as well as we did, or see as well as we did, or perhaps walk as well as we did. So this idea of we're doing something for those people over there is just not correct. So I was really, I was incredibly passionate about that program, and I was also disturbed that I had such a difficult time finding funding. I mean, it was really quite torturous, and that's really the word I would use. Now, I'm aware I was looking during a horrible economic downturn, but I kept on thinking of Bishop Johnson, and I kept on thinking to myself, if people really felt that this was a priority, they would want to see a program like this, and it was very, very difficult. Fortunately, I really believe the hand of God was involved with this program, because at certain points I didn't think it was going to happen. And yet there was just an incredible confluence of events. I found someone through the internet, I found another person through another person, and almost a month before it was supposed to be handed in, we were able to shoot incredible footage, and it now perhaps is one of the best documentaries, one of my most favorite documentaries. I think that I am like most people in that I would certainly familiar and friends, and had a group of friends that were from different faiths, but I don't know if I was really very knowledgeable about their faiths and their beliefs. It was something that perhaps people really didn't talk about. I might know that somebody is going for an Easter celebration or for some other event, but I wasn't really particularly aware of the nuances. And through this work, I have been able to see the amazing overlaps and intersects, the areas of such similarity and connection of faiths that sometimes I leave and I say, this could have been somebody from my faith giving this conversation. This sounded exactly like somebody from my faith. When we were doing the program on Holy Etchmiadzin, at one point somebody said something like, the Armenians are like Jews in this aspect of, and then they went on. And I felt that. And I feel that in so many ways. We have so much strife in the world that we tend to forget that there's an incredible amount of connection we all have. There probably is a lot more similarity than there is difference, although I'm aware that sometimes those differences are so large that they seem to crowd out anything else in the frame, so to speak. I feel pretty fortunate. As I said, 15 years ago, I was given a title, and I created a documentary. Before that, I had been producing programs that were very exciting, but I don't know if they really spoke to my heart. I don't know if I went home every night and said, wow, that was an amazing interview. I might have gone home and said, that was good, or I enjoyed that. I didn't feel necessarily that what I was doing was really special or important or had meaning. And then we started with this one program, and then it went on to 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. And we do other work as well, but this really is clearly our heart, our focus. And I've been fortunate to be involved with Odyssey Networks, who has really helped me to do some of these programs. They have given support, they have seen my vision, and they've really been there. And for a producer to have that kind of support, both financially but more in terms of emotional and being there as a group of people to discuss issues with, that's been an enormous advantage and an enormous gift for me.